Alright, welcome everyone to Scareticulus. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up as well, and the notification bell, because you never know when I'll drop another video. And I could always use more people on my kill list. That would be a great help to me. It helps with the algorithm, all that good stuff. And this is the Ghostface Killer tier list. I'm gonna put a title like right here. Doing my quick categorization of who I think is going to be Ghostface in Scream 7, who's going to be a red herring, who's going to be an AI monstrosity or like a flashback, and who's going to be a survivor, and who's going to be dead as a doornail. Let's get started, shall we? I'm just going to start randomly here. So here we have Jimmy Tatro. I don't know who this is, but he's in the intro clearly. Some weird stuff happening in the trailer where he doesn't appear to die. So I'm not really sure about him exactly. I don't think he's going to be tied to anything really truly meaningful in the story though. So I'm just going to say that he's going to be dead as a doornail. Then we have David Arquette returning as Dewey. Now, obviously, Dewey is, he's pretty much worm food at this point. Pretty sure they had a funeral and everything. If that was at all mysterious element, I'm sure they would have said something by now, but I don't think they have. So unless by some miracle he manages to come back somehow as like a ghost face, I doubt that's going to happen. I'd say he's dead as a doornail. Next, we have Anna Camp. Now, a lot of people are speculating that she is Stu Macher's sister. I feel like this is the most obvious assumption. Now, as I've said in a previous theory video, I think because of how obvious it is that she's Stu Macher's sister, that they're going to put some kind of twist on it. I don't think they would have cast her. And with so many people rumor mongering about it, I feel like they're going to add some kind of twist in here. So is she a ghost face? I think she's a red herring. I think she's a little too obvious for this, and I'm going to say no. Then we have Roger L. Jackson, the voice of Ghostface. Well, he's obviously a Ghostface. We'll just put him right there. Sam Rechner. Don't know really who he is. He's new to the franchise, new to Scream, rumored to be Tatum's boyfriend. As we all know, the whole boyfriend is really Ghostface. Has been done several times before already in this franchise. They did it in the first one. They did it in 5. I don't think they're going to repeat it. Even in 6, you could tell like it's not something they were going to do because it's just so played out by this point. You just kind of expect it and it's not a surprise. Now, they could try to subvert our expectations and go like, oh, well, because they don't expect it, because it's so obvious, we're going to do it anyway. Yeah, they could do that, but I just feel like that's such a hack thing to do at this point. You're 7 movies in. I just don't think they're going to take a chance and do something that obvious. So I'm going to say this guy is dead as a doornail. Actually, I guess I'll put him in the red herring category because obviously people are going to blame him for shit. They're going to suspect him the whole movie, but he's not going to end up being the killer. This movie kind of serves as in one sense, it's like a legacy sequel that's kind of open up doors to the past, but it's also going to try to almost redo events from the first movie in certain ways, but then subvert our expectations from that movie. So instead of, the boyfriend being the killer, he's going to be the victim. He's going to die. So I think he's going to be red herring and he's going to die, but I can only put him in one category. So moving on. Then you have Jasmine Savoy Brown, who is coming back as Mindy Meeks-Martin. She obviously has been a survivor since Scream 5, and I don't think she's going to be Ghostface. I think that would be a very bizarre turn. But the question, I think, is she going to die or is she going to be a survivor? Well, I think she's going to die. I don't know. I just have a feeling about it. I feel like whoever is going to be killing this time around, it seems like they want to destroy, things from the past. They want to kind of get people out of the way. And I feel like it's just her time. I feel like she's been around for like 2 movies already. Like even Randy was taken out by now. Like he was out by the second movie. Why is Mindy Meeks-Martin still around? If she's around for another movie, I'm just going to get annoyed. We don't need like the gimmicky movie rules character in the movie. We don't need a bunch of those. So I'm going to get rid of her because I just don't think she's going to survive. I think she's done. And we need victims, okay? People have to die in this movie, okay? It's just the way it is. Then you have Timothy Simmons. He's often playing a comedy character in a lot of roles. He's actually hilarious in all the roles I've seen him in. I heard he's going to be like a teacher at the school or something like that. And so he's going to probably be like a bit of comic relief. Now the question is, could he be a ghost face? Or will he be a survivor or dead as a doornail? I think he's dead as a doornail. I think we're going to repeat what happened in Scream 1. Fonzie died in the first movie. We're going to have a repeat incident of that kind of thing. This guy's dead. Sorry. We need victims. He's going to make a very entertaining death, I'm sure. Next, we have Courtney Cox returning as Gale Weathers. Well, obviously, she's going to be Ghostface. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. I wonder what's going to happen here. Honestly, I feel like this is Gale Weathers' time to die. I feel like there's going to be a lot opened up in this movie about Dewey. Like I said, I theorized about the Dewey tapes and his notes coming out. I feel like that's going to play a significant portion of this movie. I don't think they're just going to be using Dewey to torment Sidney. I feel like he's going to be a bigger part of the story where he's actually going to appear on camera and not just like to torment like, hey, Sidney, like you're horrible. And I feel like that's going to be central to Gale Weathers' character arc in this movie, where she's going to come to terms fully with Dewey's death, and she's going to mourn him properly, and it's going to be a whole thing, and then she's finally going to bite it at the end. You know, that her arc is complete. I feel like this is her time. I feel like it's her time to just like go out as a star. You know, she did everything she was supposed to do in this series. I feel like if she survives another movie, it's like, okay, it's just boring at this point. She's fucked around way too many times. She's gonna find out in this movie. Okay. Next we have Roman Bridger. Now clearly he's dead as a doornail. He was tapped in the head, right? But you know, is he gonna come back as an AI flashback? I believe so. I believe he's gonna come back as an AI flashback, or like an AI video, or he may, obviously they're going to do flashbacks to Scream 3, maybe even, you know, things that may have happened in Scream 1 that we didn't see, like, you know, Roman talking to Stu and Billy. Like there's going to be probably a scene like that. He might be a little bit of both, like the AI thing and a flashback, so we'll see. Then we have Celeste O'Connor, who is set to be one of Tatum's friends. Now, you know, not really much is known about this character right now. She's just a friend of Tatum, as we saw in the trailer. The question is, like, is she going to be Ghostface? Is she going to be a red herring? Is she going to be a survivor, or is she going to die? Well, I think, you know, this movie needs victims, and I don't really see her as Ghostface. Just don't see it. So I'm just going to put her in dead as a doornail. Then we have Ethan Embry's character. Now, we don't know much about Ethan Embry's character in this. We do know Ethan Embry was big in the 90s. You know, he had a Can't Hardly Wait. I think that was early 2000s, but he did have a lot of movies that came out in the 90s. That's when his career, you could say, kind of took off. And I would say, since we are returning to the 90s in this movie, in this sequel, he's going to play a significant role. I don't think he would be in this movie for no reason. Not a lot of people are talking about Ethan Embry in this movie. Everyone's talking about Anna Camp. They're all talking about Matthew Lillard. You know, they're going on about that. I feel like Ethan Embry, there's a good chance he may be a Ghostface. So I'm just going to put him there. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just saying, I feel like they're going to do something with this guy, and it's going to be big, because I could totally see him as Ghostface. He gives off this vibe like he could be a really nice guy, but then also, like, if you fuck with him, he'll turn out to be a psychopath. You know what I mean? That kind of character. Now we have Joel McHale coming in as Mark Evans, Sidney Prescott's husband. Why doesn't Sidney Prescott's last name, why didn't she change her name to Evans? That's kind of weird. That she just want to keep her last name? Is she like super feminist or something? I don't know. I just think, like, this Mark Evans character came out of nowhere. We know nothing about him. Clearly he's one of the closest to Sidney Prescott. I mean, he just comes out of the bushes, and we're just supposed to trust this guy? I don't know. I don't trust him. That said, I mean, he could be a red herring. He could be someone we all suspect in the movie, but I don't know if he's gonna be seen as a red herring because he's the chief of police. So if anything, he would be like a shock Ghostface killer at the end. And I don't feel like he would make a very compelling victim. I do feel like people are maybe expecting him, because he does usually play kind of asshole-ish characters, to maybe be a Ghostface, and maybe that's what they're trying to subvert our expectations. Like, no, actually, he's gonna die, or he may survive, right? I mean, it is Sidney's husband. That would be a lot of pain and shock, you know, for her and her daughter to go through. I mean, it could go either way. But I'm going to say, because I just don't trust this guy, I'm going to say he's Ghostface. Yeah. Then we have Michelle Randolph's character, who very clearly dies in the opening of the Scream 7 trailer. She falls right onto a knife that Ghostface is holding, up just for her. She's just like meant to be like an opening act kind of thing. A very tertiary character, just like off to the side. So I'm gonna say she's dead as a doornail. Then you have Asja Germann, who I don't know who this guy is. I guess he's going to be, one of Tatum's friends or something. He's obviously a newer actor. I don't know what capacity he's going to be in the movie. Obviously, it's not very hyped up, whoever he plays. But so the question is like, could he be a red herring? I feel like he has red herring on him. And I don't feel like I would be satisfied personally if he turned out to be a Ghostface. Although he could be, for all I know, it could be part of the whole cult of Ghostface, that whole network. He's going to be a red herring. I feel like he's going to get killed at least halfway through the movie, maybe even 2/3. And, people are going to be like, well, who the hell is it? Like, who's Ghostface? Because they probably all thought it was him or the boyfriend or Anna Camp. I feel like Anna Camp, she's going to be revealed as Leslie Macher, but then they're going to, like, just do a rug pull and prove that she's not actually a killer. Then you have Mason Gooding, who's playing Chad Meeks-Martin. I feel like, I think he's kind of a franchise favorite at this point, and people want to see him carry on. The question is, like, is it his time to go? And if he's going to survive, what's going to be the purpose of him? Like, what's his point for being in the series, after, let's say his sister dies, like what's the point of his character, right? Is there anywhere more to go with his character? He had like a little, fledgling romance with Tara in Scream 6. That's not going anywhere clearly because they're not bringing back Tara or Sam Carpenter for this entry. So where does he have to really go in this movie? I don't know. I feel like they're just kind of here, to be honest. But are they here to survive or are they here to die? I feel like he's going to survive because I just feel like there needs to be survivors. There needs to have some connective tissue to Scream 5 and 6 just in case they want to bring back Melissa Barrera at some point, like after they work out, whatever issues with her. Who knows if they're going to bring back Jenna Ortega? Who the hell knows? But I feel like they need to have some characters that kind of represent Scream 5 and 6, just in case they want to return to those storylines in the future, which is entirely possible. Then we have Isabel May, who plays Tatum. That is Sidney's daughter. Now, she was named after Sidney's friend in the original Scream who ended up dying. So could this be like a sign that maybe, she's cursed or something where she's going to die? Or could she end up being like a ghost face? That could be something where we don't expect it, right? I feel like that would be something that we don't expect, right? That would come out of like, what? Like, I don't think anyone's expecting that, but I feel like they're going to play it safe. And because they want to return to like kind of the series form of the originals in some way. And they want to also have a way to continue the series. They don't want to take too many chances and just go wild card with this. So I feel like she's going to be a survivor. And that's where I feel like they're going with that. Then you have McKenna Grace's character, who is seen as a standout performance in this movie, which tells me one of two things. One, she's either a survivor, or two, she's going to be a ghost face. Now, I feel like at this point, because of the blue plaid, she's already being cast as like this misdirection kind of character, right? Where we're meant to think, oh, she's going to be a ghost face because the blue plaid. She's probably, Leslie Macher's daughter. And everyone already automatically thought that, right? Like it just was obvious. It's something that we all came to the same conclusion, and it was not shocking, not surprising. So I don't feel like that's going to be the case. Now, so I don't feel like she's going to be a ghost face, but is she going to be a survivor or is she going to die? Right? I think she's going to be a red herring. People are going to suspect her, but she's not going to end up being the killer. But I do feel like she's going to be more of a survivor character where, she's going to last till the end. I don't feel like she's going to die. I feel like people are kind of expecting her to either die early or be a ghost face. I feel like she's going to be more of a hero character. Just kind of shooting from the hip, this is my gut feeling about it right now. I could be proven wrong. Oh well, shit happens. Let's move on. Sidney Prescott. Obviously a survivor. She's not going to be killed. They already told us a million times they're not going to kill Sidney Prescott. Could they be lying? Could they be like, oh, we just said that, and then they kill Sidney this time, and that's it for her entire story, and then they start a new trilogy or whatever? Sure, they could totally do that. Don't think they're going to do that, though, because they're gonna be like not taking many chances here, right? They're not gonna like ruin their franchise by killing off their final girl. It's just not gonna happen. She is carrying the franchise on her back at this point. There's really no one else they can rely on dependably to keep it going. So I think they're going to keep Neve Campbell's character around for the foreseeable future until such a time comes when she's no longer needed, or they want to end the franchise, and then that might be it for her. Last but not least, we have Matthew Lillard coming back as Stu Macher. Now, obviously, everyone has been waiting for this one. Well, is he going to be Ghostface? Is he going to be an AI or just maybe a flashback? Well, I'll just say this. I don't feel like they would have brought Matthew Lillard back in such an official capacity for this movie just to be an AI, video or like a flashback or something like that. They're obviously hinting towards more of a Stu Macher-laden storyline in this movie. So clearly there's way more going on here than meets the eye. But the question is he going to come back as, a survivor? Is he going to be like more of a hero character this time around, subverting our expectations that he's going to be Ghostface? Or is he actually going to be Ghostface or possibly a red herring? There's lots of rumors about him escaping some kind of mental institution or something, and it could go either way, right? As of this moment, I'm going to say I feel like he's going to be a massive, massive red herring. Because I do feel like he's going to come back in some capacity. And I feel like it's going to be actually like real. Like somehow he would have survived the wounds from like years and years ago. But I feel like people are going to suspect him as Ghostface. And there may even be some AI trickery going on and some flashbacks and all that stuff. But I think he's going to end up being a red herring. Now, I don't necessarily think that means he's going to die. I feel like this just means people are going to suspect him the most, but he's not going to actually end up being Ghostface by the end. So yeah, this is my tier list. Let me know if you guys agree with my rankings of, each character in this movie. What's your ranking? Please let me know in the comments below. Do you feel like I got the ghost faces correct? I mean, I feel like this is something no one's really predicting, no one's really expecting. Kevin Williamson especially, they want to kind of subvert our expectations and make it not seem so obvious like what they're going to do. Let me know in the comments below if you agree. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because I could always use more victims on my kill list. Thank you all. Have a good one.